Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carl. I'm a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center, and this is our Freedom Fridays meeting for the day. And the article I have here is by actionforchange.org. So if you like this article, you can go to actionforchange.org. And it's making positive changes in attitude and behavior. Learn how to make positive changes in attitude and behavior as a part of addiction recovery journey. Discover how to recognize signs of recovery and set yourself up for success. Making positive changes in attitude and behavior can be challenging, but it is possible. It requires dedication, effort, and perseverance. To truly make these changes and to maintain them, the rewards of such changes can be immense, as they can bring about a greater sense of well-being, self-confidence, resilience, and overall happiness. This article will discuss the importance of making positive changes in attitudes and behavior, provide tips on how to go about making these changes, and explain the signs of recovery from addiction. Making positive changes in attitude and behavior is essential for a successful addiction recovery journey. And I didn't. We always talk about in recovery like having an attitude adjustment, right? And only thing I thought when I got into recovery was like I had a drug problem. You know what I mean? Like my main problem was drugs. Yeah, it is a problem, but it was like a symptom. Like my actions, my behaviors, my thought process, the way I behaved, the way I treated myself, the way I treat other people. That was like the things I needed to be changing. And I had to stop using drugs and alcohol first to see my patterns and my behaviors and my thought process. It was just out of whack. You know what I mean? Like I was full of selfish and self-centeredness, and like I always wanted things my way, and nobody can tell me anything. And that lead down to a dark road, and a lot of hospitals, institutions, and almost lost my life in the midst of it. But like having a positive change in my attitude, is just doing the right thing for the right reason. First, I had like started treating myself with by respecting myself, treating myself with love and care and empathy, because like I harmed a lot of people, but I also harmed myself. Until like I kept on using and kept on causing harm because I truly didn't love myself. If we love ourselves, why do we keep on doing the same things? You know what I mean? So I learned like I had to get better with self so I can get better to others. Um, and it's a process just like anything else. Um, you just doesn't change overnight. It just doesn't happen that way. As long as I start keep working on myself, I continue to change. I continue to grow and continue to do better. We want to start read the next one, Alexis?
Positive changes.
Yes, please.
Positive changes can bring increased confidence, improved relationships, better physical, mental health, and other lasting benefits. To get the most out of the recovery process, it's important to learn how to recognize and create positive changes in attitude and behavior. One of the most important positive changes to make is developing healthy habits. This could include getting regular exercise, maintaining a healthy diet, or finding other activities that bring joy and relaxation.
Mm. Did you ever do any of those things like exercise, maintain healthy diets?
No,
No,
definitely not.
me either.
Like today, I actually just went to my first therapy session.
Did you?
Yeah, so like to try to, like you said, like this is saying to change my positive attitude. Like I gotta, like you said, my thinking is all whack.
Yeah,
To get
man.
that back in order.
Therapy and counseling is it's needed. We have a lot of stuff we have to work on, and I always like try to do things on my own. Like I wasn't willing to ask for help, and if I did ask for help, I wasn't willing to receive it. Like I was always wanting to do things my way, when I wanted it, how I wanted it, and until like I started to surrender and accept and let go, and ask for help, and willing to receive the help, I started to change and grow. You know,
So I finally walked in here after 6 weeks. So I was like, I can't do this on my own anymore.
yeah, man, isolation. It's you know, putting drugs and alcohol down is a big part, right? But you think about it, it can be the easy part because we only have to do it once. We don't ever have to use again. But maintaining our sobriety, that's where the work comes in. And we have to get a good network of people, right, that are trustworthy, reliable, accountable. We have to. I joined a 12-step fellowship, and I don't have to be your story. That's just my story. But we need some type of, we need a group of people that we need, and that are like-minded.
Yeah, so when that thought comes in, you need somebody at least to bounce that idea off.
Yeah,
Like, I just thought this is in my head.
Yeah, because we
Not
all have
completely
them
wrong with
thoughts. We get clean and like we stop using, but we always have these squirrely thoughts. You know what I mean? That stuff just doesn't go away. It just get further in between. So like longer we stay here, and just it doesn't just disappear, but it's far in between. Say it's like every day in early recovery, but then it's every other day. It gets better. It gets easier. Um, but yeah, like it's important to do some of these things, man. Um, to like help us in our recovery, and changing our attitude behaviors is a big one. First, the alcohol and drugs and stuff like that, but like we have to rebuild our fractured personalities. It says improving communication skills is also essential for successful recovery as it can help to strengthen relationships with family and friends. Additionally, it's beneficial to learn more about addiction, as understanding the causes and effects can help to maintain positive behavior changes. Finally, it's important to seek out support from family and friends who can provide encouragement and guidance. It is important to recognize signs of recovery when making positive changes in attitudes and behaviors. And it talks about some inherent relationships with our families and stuff like that, man. And that's another part of recovery is amending them relationships and having support of those. Like I had support, right? But like I just didn't utilize it, and I burnt a lot of bridges of friends and family and stuff like that. Um, but it's a great thing to still have the support that we need, and that's what recovery has given me. Like I built my relationships, and I mended a lot of them. Some of them perished because of my own actions, but like maybe one day I can rebuild them relationships. But for the most part, like I'm very fortunate that I still have the relationships I do have, and like I look at it now, I'm like, man, if somebody did this or said this to me that I did it then, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's just I don't let the past define who I am today. You know what I mean? I'm not that same person when I was using drugs and alcohol. I'm totally different, you know. But it takes work. It takes work, and it's worth it in the end. It's definitely worth it. Do you have still have some support?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, like my close family, mom and sisters there.
Yeah, that's good.
Like you said, it's good to build like that fellowship, at least with the 12-step program and stuff like that. Like I need to get myself involved in that.
Yeah, and like I said, like we talk about like many pathways of recovery, right? And I just share what my process has done for me and what I do. But there's like a grand scale of things, church, 12-step meetings, therapy, counseling. There's all kinds of stuff that we have to find out what works for us. You know what I mean? And we have to find something. I can't just go through life. And I'm not just in recovery or in addiction. Like we need support as just human beings that we need, um, because we need healthy relationships. We need people we can depend on, and because we always need help. Shit's gonna hit the fan sooner or later in life. Life's gonna throw you some stuff, and like we're gonna need help. I'm building a relationship with a higher power, and I've got my understanding, stuff like that. It all comes together. You find your way through this recovery process, and you get to find who you truly are, and you find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, what's beneficial and not beneficial. But it's definitely worth it. You're worth it to like give yourself a break and give yourself a chance. That's one thing I never did. I always downplayed myself. I always set myself up before I even tried to get clean. I'm no good. There's negative self-talk. I'm my worst critic and my worst enemy. I will beat myself down, and that's what I did for many, many years. And I'm just not that person. You know what I mean? I was not, I was just telling myself a whole bunch of lies. The disease is sneaky. We talk about being cunning, daffy, insidious. It's very sneaky. You know, would you want to read the next part?
Progress and recovery isn't always linear, so it's important to be patient with yourself. Some signs in progress may include decreased cravings, improved relationships, better sleep patterns, or increased self-esteem. Celebrating success along the way is also important for staying motivated and focusing on the progress that has been made. Creating a plan for success can also be beneficial when making positive changes in attitude and behavior.
It says increased self-esteem. That's something I struggled with for a long time, man. Self-esteem, because I always thought of myself as like the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? And like, no wonder, because I was doing it. My attitude, my behaviors, that created my mindset. The way I was behaving, and I was just this vicious circle. I would think things, and I would behave a certain way, and the way I was behaving that made me think things. It was just this cycle, and I just didn't know how to get out of it.
Yeah, because the recovery process is tough. So I'm like, man, it's not that we go through all this work, man. You're just gonna be a junkie always. My always gonna use.
Always taking the easy way out in case the efforts. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's tough because we put this big. Well, I did put this big wall up. Like, how am I gonna get clean? I never got clean. It's a struggle already. How am I gonna lose the desire? How am I gonna shake these cravings? How am I gonna detox? I got court stuff. I did all this to my friends and family, stole this, stole that. How am I going to repay all this stuff, man? I was just burying myself deeper and deeper in the ground, man. And like I said, like I had to make an effort. I had to be willing to because things just, like I said earlier, it doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take time. It takes work and takes time.
Like they said, it's a process.
It's a process, just like anything else, man. But if you want to live and if you want to have a great life, it's possible. It's definitely possible, which I didn't know until everything I have today in recovery, right? Not just material stuff, like peace of mind and my spiritual condition, my happiness, all that stuff is from other people in recovery. They all helped me to get where I'm at today. People sharing with me, people helping me and doing it. This just didn't happen overnight, man. You know what I mean? So people helped me to get where I'm at today. I'm truly grateful for that. And that's what we do. We start to get better, and then we pass it on to somebody else. Let's see here. It says this could involve setting realistic goals and breaking them down into smaller steps. Self-care is also important for long-term success and recovery, such as getting enough sleep, eating nutritious food, engaging in activities that bring you joy, or seeking out support from family and friends. Additionally, it's important to stay motivated when progress feels slow, such as by celebrating success and focus on the progress that has been made so far. Yeah, so we stay in the process, and so self-care is also important for long-term success. We got to take care of ourselves. You know what I mean? It's something that I didn't do for many, many years. I didn't go to doctors, right? I wasn't eating healthy, right? I wasn't really eating at all. My diet was out of whack. I was maybe 110 pounds soaking wet. I wasn't going to the dentist. I wasn't showering regularly. My hygiene was out of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you look great.
I was a mess, man. And my mental state from the drugs, it was crazy. So we talk about in recovery, it's the mental, the physical, and the spiritual. And I was damaged. I was fractured. I never say broke, right? Because when something's broke, you can't fix it. So I always say I was fractured.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So you can work on something fractured, you can build that back up. But I was lost and confused, and thank God that I came to my senses finally, because it took me many, many years to get here. Many treatment facilities, many times in jail, overdoses, a lot of stuff. And but the recovery process is letting me to like let that stuff in the past and go. You know, I can always revisit it, right? Reflect, but I don't stay stuck there. Because if we stay stuck in the past, it's just going to create uh, bad attitude, bad behaviors. It's just not good for the soul. It's not good for your recovery. Um, so I just focus on the here and now, not repeat the same stuff that I did in the past. That's the main part, you know. You want to read the signs of recovery?
Yeah, signs of recovery. Recognizing the signs of recovery is important. Sorry.
It's all right.
Recognizing the signs of recovery is an important part of addiction recovery process. There are a variety of signs that indicate process and recovery, such as improved physical health, increased motivation, and better emotional regulation. Additionally, individuals may experience improved relationship with family and friends, increased self-confidence, and improved coping skills. An individual in recovery may display changes in their attitude and behavior. They become more motivated and focused on their recovery goals. They may also display more positive behaviors, such as improved communication skills and greater willingness to take responsibility for their own actions. It's also important to be aware of changes in behavior that could be signs of relapse. That's true.
So, for like, it says something else, where is it at? Coping skills. So, like, I always say, I didn't have any coping skills when I was out there using. What I did, I used to use drugs and alcohol as a coping skill. You know, so it was, you have negative coping skills and you have positive coping skills. You know, so like I had to resharpen my coping skills. You know, now I can like talk with somebody. I can have healthy communication. I can be open and honest, and I can do things different this time to better myself instead of running to the drugs and alcohol like I always did. That was like the solution for everything. Because I didn't know how to cope with life.
But did it take a while to build the coping skills?
Oh yeah, that's just like everything else. Process. You know what I mean? That's definitely a process in itself. You know, how we cope with our emotions and feelings. You know, today, like how do I cope with it and not behave in a manner that I ain't supposed to be behaving in? You know, I can do something different to like better myself. So I know for me, I can be in that negative coping skill, slipping off at the mouth, getting angry, getting frustrated, you know, stuck in these defects and stuck in these things and patterns that I used to do. An active addiction can follow me in recovery. They can come out at any given time. You know, I'm more conscious and more aware of it today. You know what I mean? But coping skills and things that we have to do to like not repeat the same mistakes. You know, and it says something about let's see here, taking responsibility for our actions. That's a big one. You know, I always blame others for everything.
Yeah, it's never my fault.
Nope, I never took accountability for anything. You know, because it was a defense mechanism. It like I would use that as to keep on using. Like it's their fault. I'm going to steal, get locked up, and then blame the judge and the cops for the way I did. It just now I say it's like craziness, right? The insanity of my mental state, what I was doing in active addiction. You know, I wasn't reliable, accountable for nothing. You know what I mean? I just that's the things that we do. You know what I mean? I don't look at it as like I just look at it as a part of active addiction. You know, as a disease of addiction, that's what it does. It will rob you from everything. You know, definitely mental, physical, and spiritually. You know, and ultimately death. You know. So examples of these behaviors could include increased isolation, mood swings, and a return to risky behaviors such as drug or alcohol use. It is important to remember that each person's recovery journey is unique. It is important to be aware of the signs of recovery, both positive and negative, so that individuals can identify progress in their own recovery journey. And he talks about it. You know, everybody's recovery journey is unique. It's different. You know, my recovery journey is not going to look like yours. Yours ain't going to look like mine. But we pick up on each other's. You know, that's what I've done. You know, I pick up on others' recovery journey and I apply it to my life. You know, and you create your own. You know, some of the things I do for my recovery, like I said earlier, I do a 12-step program. I go to church. I do have a therapist. You know, stuff like that. But like, there's other things that I do to give back to others in service, you know, in my fellowship that I am in. So there's a lot of things that I do for my recovery that, you know, is it's really easy. You know, it's simple stuff that recovery is asked of you to do, you know, but we can complicate it a little bit, you know, or not want to do it sometimes, you know what I mean? But I have to remain and have to do these things on a daily basis. If I want to sustain long lasting sobriety, I have to do something for my recovery on a daily basis.
Become like routine.
Yeah, it's definitely a routine. It's a new way of life. You know what I mean? It's definitely routine. We like routine. We like the same things and stuff like that. But yes, I have a routine of things I do throughout the week for my life and my recovery. You know, and it gets life gets easier when you get in that. You find your niche. You find your routine of things. Because I knew in early recovery it was like trying to calm this down, right, and still have to live life and go through life and work and do this. You know, it can be overwhelming. It can be complicated. It can be stressful, anxiety, depression. Until I started finding my routine through recovery and started finding routine through my daily life, it started to get easier, you know. And yeah, like I have like no complaints today, just for me. I can complain about stuff, right? But like, do I really have it bad today? You know what I mean? I do for one, like I'm alive and well. You know what I mean? So like that's a blessing in itself. You know what I mean? I'm not using, not getting high. You know, not causing pain and suffering to my family and friends. So like I have a lot of things to be grateful for. You know, which is awesome. You know. You want to go on to the next one?
The benefits of making positive changes. Making positive changes in attitude and behavior can have profound effects on one's life. Not only can it lead to improved relationships, but it can also help a person better cope with stress and difficult situations. It can also help improve self-esteem and general well-being.
Nice. The benefits of making positive changes. I mean, there's a lot of benefits of making positive changes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? The list can go on and go on. But this keeps popping up to me, improve self-esteem. You know, like I had to build myself up, and I had to encourage myself, and I had to like really see I can do this. You know, I had to have self-confidence. It always starts with self. If I'm no good, nobody else is no good. You know what I mean? So I had to really get a better relationship with self first. You know, I can't get better with everybody else and expect I'm going to get better with me.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean-
stuck out with that still negative self-talk. That's why I was like, I gotta start therapy or something.
Yeah.
Something rolling. Start fix this first, and then I can fix the outward.
Yep. It's like I said, it's a process, man, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? What do you else have to lose? You know what I mean? What am I going to do the same stuff again? You know, it's that same circle. We already know what the result is. You know what I mean? It doesn't change for me. I know that. Like my experience has shown, like if I pick up or if I do something bad, something negative, whatever, the consequences are always there. You know, the person or nobody else might know, but you know. You know what I mean? So it's like I already know what that has to offer for me. And it's a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of consequences. Let me try something different. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work, that stuff is still there for you. You know what I
That
mean?
never goes away.
Yeah, that misery is still there for you. But I'd rather like do something different. I'd rather face my emotions and feelings and deal with because we all have problems if I'm using or not using. things are still going to happen. And then, like, I'm thinking I'm going to escape my feelings and emotions. Not they always arise. You know what I mean? So it's like, let me deal with life on life terms and deal with reality, my friends and family. Let me be a decent human being. You know what I mean? Because I already know what that lifestyle is getting me nowhere. Um, and like but I had to see it for myself. Like people could give me a crystal ball and show me what my life can be in recovery. I still wouldn't believe them. Right? I had to see it start working in my life for myself. You know, and then I started to believe that I could stay clean and do good in life. But it takes time. It takes time. You see little victories like being trustworthy, like stuff like that. Me, I was never trustworthy. Right? I didn't trust myself. So people started trusting me. Started to be like I have a lot of assets that I never knew because I was so stuck in defects and I was so stuck in denial. There was like nothing really good about me, right? But until I started to put drugs down, right, and started to change and grow up, like I found out I'm reliable, I'm accountable, I'm hardworking, I'm loving and caring, right, and like I'm willing to help. I put others first before I like a lot of stuff that I never knew I had.
It's like those questions where like list three positive things about yourself. I'm like, I don't have any.
Yeah, but we do.
Yeah.
We do. We're not just used to having them because we're all stuck in this active addiction part. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, we do have a lot of good qualities about us. You know. Let's see where we're at. Are we at this last
One
part?
of the biggest benefits.
One of the biggest benefits of making positive changes is that it can be led to improved physical health, mental and emotional health are closely linked to physical health, so they when a person makes positive changes in their attitude and behavior, it can lead to improved physical health as well. Making positive changes in attitude and behavior can also lead to improved relationships by learning how to communicate better, be more compassionate, and be more understanding of others. People can build strong relationships with their loved ones. Yeah, relationships are very important. I learned that in recovery. Like people say, relationships, and having healthy relationships, and healthy communication. That's another one we have to work on, and I have to work on a daily basis. Healthy communication, because what I say impacts others, right? And like I have to watch what I say. I live by this. I gotta watch what I say, how I say it. There's my tone of voice, all that kind of stuff. Because I can say some not nice things. I can be what do you want to call it? Condescending, right? Stuff like that. I can't be like that way. You know what I mean? Because like I was mean active addiction. So it's hard to break that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
So some stuff still lingers around.
Oh yeah, yeah. That can come up at any given time. You know what I mean? But I have uh, recovery to help, and I have people that can put me in check. You know what I mean? I can see myself. I can't spot self deception. When I'm locked and loaded myself, we can't spot some of this stuff. And that's why we have a solid foundation, a solid people, a network of people that be like, man, why you acting that way?
Bullshit.
Yep. But you can't be doing that. You can't be saying that. It gives you a different perspective on things. Because if I'm just locked and loaded with my own stuff, I'm gonna go out the door and do something stupid. You know what I mean? So like I've learned if I run off my own juice, it gets me in trouble every time. You know, that's why it's like not an I program. It's a we. We gotta get together and help each other. That's the only way I can stay clean is from other people helping me, man. I can't go through life just by myself. Just doesn't work. I tried that. Try to become my own doctor, become my own therapist. It doesn't work. Would you go on to the next?
Yeah, this can lead to greater happiness and satisfaction in life. Finally, making positive changes in attitude and behavior can also help to build resilience. By learning how to cope with stress and difficult situations, people can become more resilient and better equipped to handle the changes as life throws at them. This can be beneficial in many aspects of life.
Amen. Nice.
And read that little part too.
Yeah, if you want to.
Making positive changes in attitude and behavior is a key part of successful addiction recovery journey. There are a variety of different types of positive changes that can be made. These include changes in attitudes, behavior, lifestyle, relationships, and self-care.
Big part. We're gonna stop there, but like it's I've learned to people, places, and things. I have to change all three of those things if I want to have long-lasting sobriety. Because I don't hang around with the same people that I used to hang around with. I see them, hi, goodbye. If they need help or something like that, I will help them, right? But like to participate in their lives or with their lifestyle, what they're doing, can't do that. Places I don't have, like early recovery, like I didn't walk around the streets. I didn't go to the same, I would avoid certain stores and stuff like that. Same things. I wasn't doing the same things. I was going to meetings and I hopped on the recovery train, man. Like I surrounded myself with people in recovery. My life came recovery. Recovery came my life. And because I knew, like I said earlier, like I already knew what that life has got me. So I had to change everything about me. And we all have our struggles, we all have our setbacks, we all have things we struggle with. We will until the day we die. We're always going to have something to change and grow from. We don't get perfect, we just get better. But like it's definitely worth it, and I don't have to like use drugs and alcohol for any. It was all excuse that why I was using in the first place. This. Like it was all BS. You know what I mean? It was causing me a lot of pain and suffering. It doesn't have nothing left to offer me anymore. But that was our Freedom Fridays meeting for the day. My name is Carl. I'm recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center. Until next time, we'll see you later.